What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Zach. Listen to me and listen to me really good because I know a lot of you need to hear this. No matter what you go through or even have been through, if it's bothering you, don't just bottle up and say, forget it. It's no big deal. No, it is a big deal. No matter what that situation is, you open up about it and talk about it as much as needed. You know, some people might say, oh, that's bull crap. Hey, just looking for attention. And I thought it would make sense. Well, it may not make sense what somebody says. But at the same time, it's also okay to ask questions. It's also okay to ask questions. So whenever you go through something, open up about it. Be open about it. Talk about it as much as you need to. You know, that's what I've done. You know, a lot of times I go over the same thing over and over and over again. You know, if I'm on one of my social media platforms and somebody, you know, I've had people say, man, you go over that same thing over and over again. Well, yeah. But you know what? Some of those things are things that do get to me because I've dealt with them my whole life. Now, I don't know what your situations are. You know, again, I only know, you know, names and not your stories. In other words, I know your names as what's here on YouTube. But what I do know is this. You're 100% human with a 100% different but 100% true story about you. So ask questions as much as you need to understand something. Or, you know, talk about your situation as much as you need to. That helps you. Like I said, there's gonna be a lot of people that don't like that, or that don't understand. But trust me, it's better to keep talking about what you go through than just bottle things up and then go through depression. You know, like I said, a lot of times people go through depression and they don't make it out through that depression, unfortunately. And that's one reason that I bring things up that I do is, you know, I want you to realize this. You can talk to me no matter what you go through, no matter what it is. Talk about it. And I'll look at that situation and say, okay, this is your situation. Well, this is how I would handle your situation if I was in those same shoes as you. You know, if I went through that same situation. And then I'd be able to give you my advice on how to get through that situation or your situation or situations. So, in other words, instead of always being silent, instead of being silent at all about your situations, always talk about your situations. You know, and again, if you talk about your situations, by talking about your situations, you're helping a lot of people. Honestly, you're gonna help more people than you really think, because you never know. Someone else might be going through that same situation. or situations. And when they hear your 100% true story of what you go through, it can, it can honestly give them hope and say, you know what? They went through the situation. They got through it. I'm going through the same situation. And here's how I'm going to do it. And with that said, the one thing I want you to remember, no matter your situation, patience and confidence. Patience and confidence. That was something that I learned a while back. A really, really good friend of mine that I know in person, I'll put it that way, taught me this, and I was going through that same thing. I had trouble, with the dating and relationships. And then she says, remember patience and confidence. So remember patience and confidence. Yes, I'm making this a working main job as well. If there's anything that you would like to hear, anything that would help you, let me know, and I will get that put together for you. Also, when I respond to your comments, and I see that you have a YouTube channel, and I see that I'm not subscribed to your YouTube channel, I will subscribe back to your YouTube channel as well. So until then, keep your head up, keep smiling, and keep being open. Open up about your situation as much as you need to. Until you feel better. Like I said, it's a lot better to be open about what you go through than just let it, bottle up. Just trust me. So again, with that said, keep going, keep being you, stay open. Much love, and let's get it.